Hey y'all, it's Tag Tuesday and I have a tag video for you today. This one is the Nosey Librarian tag, so stick around to see what my answers to these questions are. Hey y'all, it's Jen and welcome back to my channel Ifers Inklings. Today we are doing the Nosey Librarian tag, which was originally created by Stripcover Lit, and I was tagged by Stripcover Lit. Let's just dive into these questions. They are some interesting ones, y'all. Question number one, what has been the most influential library in your life? For me, that was my elementary school library. I'm not going to name the name of that elementary school, but it was where I got my books. I was an avid reader. I could read, a book a day or every couple of days. I would check out 5 or 6 different books at a time and just fly through them. Growing up, my family didn't have a lot of money, and so we didn't have a lot of things. We didn't have money for extras like books. Those were birthday gifts or Christmas gifts, things like that. So my school library really was the one that filled that void for me in my life, and I think I read every book in that library at one point. Question number two, honest assessment. What will they title your biography? So for this one, I took it to my friends over on Facebook. They're the ones that have known me for most of my life. I took it to them because biographies are not written by the individual, so I would not be titling my own biography. And I really enjoyed some of the things that they came up with, and I'm going to read a few of my favorites. The Book and Its Girl, A Woman's Love Affair with the Written Word and Her Journey Through This Topsy-Turvy Beautiful Life, Jen with one N, or One in Jen, From Cookies to Books and Everything in Between, How I Got to Where I Am Today, Girl of Strength, The List Goddess, and then there was a couple of them that were just as simple as The Whimsical Life of Jen or Jen's Journey, things like that. And I thought all of those were just fantastic titles for biography, and it was really interesting to see how other people viewed me, because what I would have titled my own biography or my autobiography is Surviving the Trials and Tribulations of Nobody Special. Question number three, the story from your life that you most hope your librarian never finds out. I really don't have anything like this because I have lived my life in a way. There was a quote that I read when I was a teenager that said something along the lines of live your life as if every day would be front page news or something like that. So basically, if I want to make the front page of the newspaper, I want it to be for something good and not for something that I would be embarrassed by or embarrassed by somebody finding out. So I've really kind of tried to live my life with that mindset. Question number four, what is your favorite word? I don't have a particular favorite word, but I really love words that are fun to say or come off the tongue easily. We have several students at our school, and this is the best example of of a word that I would like. But we have several students at our school with the last name of Santa Clara, and I just love the way that flows. And I like words like that just flow very whimsically, I guess. Question number five, 3 weird things of which you are afraid and 1 way which you would prefer not to die. So 3 weird things that I'm afraid of. I am afraid of relationships, and that's any relationship, getting close to anybody. I have very few close friends, because in my life, everybody's always left, and so I'm afraid to get attached to people. I am afraid of food in general because I don't avoid it because I do love food. Clearly, I love food and to eat, but I have such a weird relationship with food because there has been many, many times over the last 25, 30 years of my life that food has tried to kill me. and I'm not even exaggerating. I spent 4 times in the emergency room in 2017 because food was trying to kill me. I have to carry an EpiPen around because I have some airborne food allergies, but it's so weird because I never know exactly what's going to trigger a reaction, and a reaction which could be deadly, whether it's something I'm ingesting or just being around certain foods. So food kind of terrifies me. And then the last one is kind of a weird concept too, but I'm afraid of not being in control of a situation. I spend a lot of time preparing and planning and prepping for any given scenario and situation so that I can act immediately without any kind of hesitation. I know that whatever situation I'm going to be put in, I'm the one in control ultimately. Or I can retain control of the situation. One way in which I would prefer not to die is I don't want to die in any way that's going to be painful at all. I don't want to die. That's also something I'm a little bit afraid of. I don't want to die. But I am afraid of any way which is going to be immensely painful. If I'm going to die, I want it to be quick and immediate. Don't drag it out. Don't put me in a lot of pain. No, thank you. Question number 6. Your favorite book as a grade schooler, and that is Bridge to Terabithia by Katherine Patterson. I have read this book multiple times. I have shared it with my children. I've even reread it, in the last probably 5-10 years, not to my children. And I've seen the movie a million times. This book is probably the first time in my life that I read a book in elementary school that was not one of those happy-go-lucky, happy ending kind of stories. This has a devastating ending to it. And it just ripped my heart out, and it was my favorite childhood book. So here I realized that I forgot to answer a question, and that was question number 7. What have your interactions with the police been like? And as I mentioned earlier, I was a good girl, so I unfortunately haven't really had any interactions with the police. So I know, sorry to disappoint, guys. Back to the video. Question number 8, your all-time favorite book cover. And for this, I'm going with the cover of Where the Sidewalk Ends by Shel Silverstein. It is pretty plain. It's just an ink drawing, and it's a minimal, and it's just kind of whimsical, and I really enjoy that. It reminds me a lot of his the poetry that this is contained in. Question number 9, how many places have you lived? So over the years, I have lived mostly in Central Arkansas, and I'm counting like a 4-county radius as Central Arkansas. And within those 4 counties, I have lived in 9 different cities in Central Arkansas. And then I lived for a year in Northeast Arkansas in a small town city up there. So that's 10 cities that I've lived in my lifetime. I do plan on one more move to a city out of my state, and that hopefully will be the last city I move to. Question number 10, tag 11 booktubers that you like and or admire, and why do you like and or admire them? And then compliment Strip Cover Lit. So I am not going to do this this question in full. I'm only going to tag 2 booktubers, one of which may have already been tagged by someone else. I don't know. Not that there's not 11 of them that I love and admire, but I think these 2 are very important because of what they do on their channels, and why I enjoy their channels. I enjoy everybody I watch and subscribe to, otherwise I wouldn't be subscribed to them and I wouldn't watch their content. 2 I really think deserve a little bit more recognition than they are getting. The first one is Amy Gets Lit, and she does all of her videos through voiceover. You don't see her on the video at all. She's not talking to you like I'm talking to you right now, but her content is still phenomenal. It is well thought out, well spoken. She has a good voice to do the voiceovers with, and all of her videos are very informative, and she expresses herself really well. I love watching her videos. The second one is Bookish, and I don't read the same type of books that he does. I don't, as far as our literary community, we really don't have a lot in common, as far as what I read versus what he reads and vice versa. But every time I watch one of his videos, I learn something I didn't know before. I really enjoy the author series that he does. He's currently doing one on Ernest Hemingway that I have yet to watch, but I am fixing to dive into that and binge the at least three that he's got. He's got 3 parts that I know of, maybe 4 at this point. But I always enjoy listening to him talk about these authors and the books that he's reading. Even if it's not a book I'll ever read, the tags that he's done, I've always learned something new out of or picked up a little tidbit of information, and it's phenomenal. And I really value that type of content as well. I've said it in the past that I am kind of an information junkie, and when I can watch a booktuber and learn something, even about something that I'm not interested in necessarily, but that booktuber makes it interesting, I really enjoy that, and that is what I get with Bookish's content. Now, say something nice about Strip Cover Lit. I don't really think I need to be stroking Adrian's ego here. Think it's big enough, but for the sake of this tag, I'll go ahead and say something nice. Really, this isn't hard, guys. We all know Strip Cover Lit, and what Adrian and Dalton bring to this community is phenomenal. My channel wouldn't be what it is today without Adrian and Dalton. Specifically Adrian. I interact more with Adrian than I do with Dalton. Is encouraging. He pushes me to make better content, and he pushes me to think about what I'm reading in a more critical light. The read-alongs that are done on the channel, I have learned from immensely. What else nice can I say? So that's it. That is my tag, the Nosey Librarian. If you enjoyed this video, y'all know what to do. Like, subscribe, share, and leave me a comment down below. And until next time, I'll talk to you later.